we are interviewing individuals.
You know what it is, though. No, you're just not
When
going to tell us, right?
When I have those details, I will most certainly share those.
But again, you refuse to give us the answers. You're playing this wasn't me. Well, I submit to you, if you can't, and it's not a can't, it's a won't. It's not a can't, it's not a I don't know. It's a I choose not to answer the question. Well, let me tell you, Ms. Cheadle, if you're gonna lead, you need to lead. If you want to be in charge, then answer the question or step aside and have someone with the courage and the guts to answer to the American people the questions that they deserve answers to.
You said you spoke with President Trump after the assassination attempt, and I want to know, did you apologize to him directly for nearly having President Trump killed?
Yes, I did.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that you recognize that this was your failure.
Because Joe Biden is very much alive and running for re-election.
What's up, guys? Boy, Benny. The best part about Joe Biden dropping out today is that he doesn't know that he's already dropped out and that he won't remember it because Joe Biden has a horrible disease. And now the entire Democrat Party has admitted that, even though Joe Biden did just drop out seconds ago via this mewling letter that, of course, he was forced to sign, probably under great duress. Look, he can't even make his signature. It's so sad, so incredibly sad. Now they have anointed Kamala Harris. Joe Biden has come out and endorsed Kamala Harris. Again, Joe Biden has no idea that any of this stuff has happened right now as he's recovering from COVID. These people are just incredibly evil individuals, and they're saying that Democrats just threw away 15 million votes because 15 million people voted for Joe Biden in a rigged primary. Nobody voted for Kamala Harris, and nobody voted for Kamala Harris in the last Democratic selection process. Kamala Harris ran for president a couple of years ago against Joe Biden, pretty savage against Joe Biden. We'll play that clip in just a second. But Kamala Harris now has a number of people endorsing her, including the Clintons and the Soroses, and all of the evil, bizarro world Avengers, if you would. And the Trump team is quick, baby, quick as a whip, with ads out against Kamala Harris. Even Time Magazine here showing Kamala Harris taking the stage as Joe Biden steps off into the dumpster bin of history. And so the Trump team up with some absolute savagery. This is a Donald Trump PAC, the official Make America Great Again PAC, up in the ad like that.
Kamala was in on it. She covered up Joe's obvious mental decline.
Our president is in good shape, in good health, tireless, vibrant, and I have no doubt about the strength of the work that we have done.
But Kamala knew Joe couldn't do the job, so she did it. Look what she got done. A border invasion, runaway inflation, the American dream dead. They created this mess. Kamala owns this failed record. Make America Great Again Inc. is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Donald Trump's spokespeople also up with some very interesting commentary. Dan Scavino, Kamala Harris, elections matter. When folks vote, they order what they want and they get what they ask for. Uh-oh. Go.
Elections matter, and when folks vote, they order what they want, and in this case, they got what they asked for.
U.S. crude oil prices hitting a new 7-year high. A wave of smash and grab robberies in California and nationwide.
They got what they asked for.
We just have this jobs report.
Whoa. I see 194,000. That is real low. A stark reminder of what defeat really looks
They
like.
got what they asked for.
The Russians are moving towards decapitating.
Unfortunately,
This would not happen if President Trump was in the White House.
The campaign spokesperson Stephen Chung, the Trump 2024 spokesperson for Donald Trump, posted just a video of Montel Williams's introduction music for his talk show. What does he mean by this? This is trolling Kamala Harris because she was Monta Williams' side piece in this famous viral clip that the internet wants you to forget. Kamala Harris only wants you to forget.
Long before she met Doug Emhoff, she dated some prominent men, including in 2001, former talk show host Montel Williams. Back then, he was the famous one and had to introduce her to the paparazzi. Now the whole world knows who she is.
And of course, this isn't the first time that the Trump team has gone total savage mode on Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris getting the Donald Trump treatment with wise words from Kamala Harris from just a few weeks ago. Here's an official Trump campaign ad of Kamala Harris's wise words.
Talking about the significance of the passage of time. There is great significance to the passage of time in terms of what we need to do, and there is such great significance to the passage of time. So the importance of community-based is they are as they are home. They're in the community. People who understand the capacity of the community, the needs of the community, the culture of the community. It is time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day. I can imagine what can be and be unburdened by Martha's day, you know?
So yeah, Kamala Harris getting roasted across the internet. Kamala Harris, 30 years after meeting Willie Brown, getting anointed. But will it actually work? Kamala Harris has a really bad favorability rating with Americans. It seems like there are some real problems going on with Democrats, senators breaking down, sobbing on TV. Yeah, Kamala Harris has a really, really bad favorability, and also polls show that she does a lot worse in swing states. And so while they may be able to put lipstick on a pig, as it were, Kamala Harris is really, really bad in the swing states. So I really look forward to the Trump team going in on a Kamala Harris, but maybe it will be a more brutal primary battle. I mean, you're just going to be anointed, right? Like I don't think. We'll see what happens next, and it's going to be very, very cringeworthy. A reminder that President Trump predicted all of this from a golf cart when he said Joe Biden was defeated and that Kamala Harris would be next, and she'd be even easier to beat. Polls seem to prove that. Have a listen.
Give me so much. How did they do with the debate the other night?
Fantastic.
That old broken down politics. Yeah, it's a bad guy. He just quit, you know. He's quit anyway. Is that right? Yeah, I got him out of there. And that means we have Kamala. I think she's going to be better. She's so bad. She's so pathetic. She's so. Can you imagine that guy dealing with Putin, the president of China, who's a fierce person? He's a fierce man. Very tough guy. And then see him, they go, okay, is it just an ounce? He's probably quitting.
Good.
Okay?
That sounds good.
Let's just keep knocking it out.
So either way, this is going to be a great deal of fun through the election cycle. The official GOP account with millions of followers has released this ad, and we'll close out with this. We're just getting started. Kamala Harris, do not come. Donald Trump, I'm gonna come. Here you go.
Warning. The following may upset liberals who don't want voters to know the truth about Kamala Harris.
If you ever wondered how Joe Biden could get the border so screwed up, remember, he had help. Here's Biden appointing Kamala Harris to be his border czar to deal with illegal immigration. And here are a record number of illegal immigrants, 10 million and counting, flooding over the border after Harris was put in charge of stopping illegal immigration. To be fair, Harris got off to a rough start by ignoring the border.
Do you have any plans to visit the border?
I'm here in Guatemala today. At some point, we are going to the border. We've been to the border. So this whole thing about the border, we've been to the border. We've been to the border.
You haven't been to the border.
And I haven't been to Europe. And I don't understand the point that you're making.
Harris was liberal on illegal immigration before she ever reached the White House. As a prosecutor in San Francisco, Harris allowed illegal immigrant drug dealers to enter job training and have their criminal records wiped clean. One of the illegal immigrants Harris released went on to steal an SUV and ran down a young woman, seriously injuring her. And, of course, Harris backs sanctuary city laws that harbor illegal immigrants, even criminals. She even backs taxpayer-funded health care for illegals, record illegal immigration, special treatment for illegals, taxpayer-paid benefits. And Harris still doesn't get it.
I've been working on this issue for a very long time.
That's the truth about Kamala Harris. She's dangerously liberal on illegal immigration.
What are you doing?
Get your shine on without waking up the neighborhood.
Okay, hi everybody, and welcome back to Unredacted Feather. We are so glad that you're back with us and watching this video. I remain grateful for your encouraging comments following the last video that we did. You are some amazing folks, and I'm very grateful. Now, many of you know the background and how it came to be that Unredacted Feather became a YouTube channel. If you don't know why it is that we became a YouTube channel, I encourage you to go back and check out my introduction to Unredacted Feather. I think it's the first video that we published. If not, it
All right, guys, this may be the best.
Oh, I don't think she'd hop over the fence.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another Middlesex Tree video. And today is going to be a good one. We got the cops called on us today. Yep, that's right. The cops got called on us today for an absolutely ludicrous reason. This neighbor, who has been causing issues around this neighborhood for many years, has no clue about the laws for trimming up trees. Even a thorough explanation from the policeman would not make her satisfied. When the customer made the phone call to Middlesex Tree to have this job done, the topic was brought up right away that the neighbor would certainly be calling the police because she's that type of person. And she certainly did. And we've got the footage to show you. Not only our footage, but body cam footage. Derek has done this before and knows exactly what he's doing when it comes to trimming up trees that are growing on one person's property but hanging over another person's property. The customer that we are working for today is tired of having debris fall on their house as well as their cars, and there's also a lot of dead branches up here that will cause damage in the future, and they want them gone. Let's watch the video and see how everything plays out.
That's all good? Yeah. I'm over there, kind of in hollow. Yeah, okay, I need a picture of that one.
We'll make sure we get a picture of that. Well, I'm sure we can see it in the camera, but they literally, when these people had that tree removed, she called the cops on them. That's who we're dealing with. We don't like to prune this way, but Karen next door literally called the cops on them for cutting down their own tree. The stuff is right there. So she freaks out, comes out screaming. Every time they're pruning over the line. The gutter was all clogged up with the flowers. I'll blow that valley off for him, but this thing's gonna get cut way back from there, so. I got a GoPro on. My GoPro can see it all.
Yeah, so my question is,
fella dead in there. Listen, there's gonna be a video, bro. Oh yeah, she's running. Come on, Frank. Is she cursing? He's got the camera right on her.
We're right on the line. The fence line.
So the tree, do you think it damaged the tree?
I think they're trespassing, and they're cutting down my property.
Well, tree limbs which go onto someone else's property, they have the right to have them removed.
It wasn't hanging over. They were on my side.
Their property. That's why I asked if you think it's damaged, because they can't damage it.
Yeah, it looks fine to me.
Hi, can you step over here just because it's loud? Oh, okay, sure.
Unless you object.
No, I'm all about it.
My sister hired them.
They're here with permission.
They're here with permission, and they're going right along the property line, which the, I guess the statutes allow that.
Correct.
So we did a lot of research on it. The problem is that the trees are hanging over.
Correct.
They're dumping all kinds of stuff onto the roof of the house,
I can see that.
and they're also dumping, all that stuff, all that red stuff. It wasn't just, I have some photos before I came here today, and they're also dumping branches. Any windstorm that comes over here, that alley, I call that little alleyway there, it's a windstorm. So, it's a safety issue. The gentleman, by the way, said that this hickory tree over here that's leaning this way is dead.
Okay.
So she's gonna get a certified letter about that.
Okay.
Because obviously if there's an issue, there's an issue. But yeah, no, as long as, I told them, property line, only.
From how it looks to me,
Yes, sir.
they abided by what it looks to me like a property line.
That's what they're trying to do.
Yep. And then-
He's actually a certified arborist.
Yes, I know the company has a program, so I respect the fact that what they're doing with someone who's licensed to do so.
We're paying quite a bit.
Yes, you are.
We're not getting,
No, you have a legitimate tree service company here. What's your name, sir? So I don't see any issues. Okay, so this company is licensed and has a licensed arborist. In fact, he is the licensed arborist on site right now. Okay, which means that he is trained in taking care of trees. All right, and those. Hold on. I know you got to talk, you have to speak. I'm just going to tell you my observations and how this is being handled. Now, you have an opinion on the trees. You feel that they have gone into the space and have cut beyond what you feel is your property line. What I would say is, I don't know that to be true, okay? Now, I understand that the stakes are here on this portion, and that you believe that they went too far in and they cut the branches. What I would say, okay, is that this is not a criminal matter
I know, it's not a criminal matter,
at all.
but it's a trespassing matter.
It's not a trespassing matter, okay? There's only two things that this could really be in the eyes of law enforcement, which would be a trespassing complaint
Yes.
or criminal mischief. It's not criminal mischief because they're not doing any harm or damaging of trees, okay? And it's not trespass complaint because not a single person has stepped foot onto your property, okay? They're not going into a...
Hovering over my property.
They're hovering over your property to do it safely due to whatever the mechanism that they have
And
to
you
do.
ask your neighbor, if you come into somebody's yard
I'm
without
not disputing that, but I'm not the neighborly police. I'm the regular police.
if you come into somebody's yard without their permission, it's trespassing.
That's not.
He's in my property now.
Well, that's your opinion. I'm going to say he's not in your property. He's on the property line attending to a tree that he doesn't want to have any issues with. That is your opinion. So what I would recommend that you do is, because this is a civil issue, is if you have a problem, is do as they are doing and report the situation and hire an attorney
and present a suit against the company, or present a suit against
Not
the
against
neighbor.
these people, it's against,
Well,
wouldn't be against these people,
they were given specific instructions not to go beyond what
They are.
is their property.
but they are.
Okay. But again, that was the instructions that they were given, and I trust in an arborist knowing how to safely tend to a tree and care for a tree so that he doesn't cause it unnecessary damage.
So he's allowed to come in my property?
He's not coming on your property.
He was just on my property.
He is on your property no more than if someone was flying a drone in the air.
Which is also not legal.
It is legal. There's nothing against the law for that. People are allowed.
These in my yard too, and that's
Well,
okay?
branches fall. Branches do fall, and if you want,
What? Does he put there?
and if you want them to pick up any branches that broke off as a result of their
Not on
work,
my property.
well then they can't really pick up the branches up, right?
They shouldn't be cutting down my tree.
Well, it's not your tree per se.
Yes,
the,
it is.
The tree itself is,
No,
but
it is
anything,
exactly my tree.
anything which goes beyond is not yours. Any branch that comes onto their property is their responsibility
That
to take
branch
care of.
right there that he cut is not over the line.
Look at right here. Everything right there. He could go all the way up.
That one, over
Which
here.
one?
When your fellow officer was standing here with me, this one right
The
here,
dead one?
he cut a branch off of that. It's not dead. He cut those
That
branches
one right
off.
there. It looks like it's exactly on the line.
No, this one.
I see it right here. The jagged part right there comes
No.
out.
It's over here.
I
It doesn't
know.
go over the line because he cut it.
I
Here,
know.
hold on.
Again, this I don't see as being at all a criminal issue. I don't even think it's a civil issue, but if you wish to make it a civil issue, then you can do so.
It is.
But I trust in this guy knowing what he is doing and what he is licensed to be allowed to do. That you're not the first people to have an issue over a tree or a property line in the state of Connecticut or in the country.
To the left of where he is, he cut that one. You can see where it's cut off.
Okay.
That's in my property.
I'm not seeing it, but
Because
okay.
you don't want to.
What do you mean I don't want to? Now you're making
you guys.
Yeah, well,
Every time.
you're
And
making
like,
an assumption about me.
The guy,
I've never even met you.
the last time the officer was out here,
There's
they're
nothing.
over the line and you aren't calling them for trespassing, and they're parked on my
They're
grass.
not over the line. They're not on your. Where are they on your
They're
grass?
on my grass.
They're not on your grass.
They're parked on my grass.
They're-
The officer said he was gonna have him move the car.
Oh, then maybe they already did move it. But
He
what?
didn't.
I don't
Didn't
see.
even tell him.
I don't see anywhere where they're parked on your grass. I may be parked a little bit on your grass from when I came in,
They're parked
but
on my grass. He's now cutting over the line.
that is your opinion. I don't see him doing so. And again, if you feel that he is encroaching too far and that he is making mistakes, then document it and handle it. But he's not trespassing onto your property. He's not destroying your trees.
He is destroying my tree.
Well,
That's gonna kill the tree.
It's not. He's a. You're not a licensed arborist. You know nothing about trees in comparison to his education. He's licensed. He knows more about trees than I know, and I would trust that someone who has to maintain a certification and operate within a commercial space.
Paid. He'll do whatever he's being paid for.
You think he's intentionally destroying your tree for money?
I think he's doing what he asked to, what he's being paid for.
Yes, and you will do so that he can maintain his certification and not lose his license as a business.
That is over the line. That is over the line.
I don't see how you automatically know that it's over the line based on it going up into the air. And what I would also say is he is taking care of a branch which came over the line, and he's cutting it in a manner which is safe for the tree.
It's not safe for my tree.
Well, that's your opinion. And I know you're not going to agree with anything I say.
It's my tree.
I understand that the tree itself is on your property, but they are allowed to cut branches.
On their property.
Yes.
This is not on their property.
The tree,
Where he is right now is on his property.
the branch was on his property. Now it is not.
Cut over to my property.
He probably cut, even if that was true, which I'm not saying it is because I can't tell where the property line goes up into space, okay? But,
You don't want to.
okay, well, you're making assumptions about me, but
You're
that's
making
fine.
assumptions.
I'm not making assumptions. All I said was that I don't believe that you would know about trees as much as an arborist. And you're right. Is that an
You
assumption?
made an
No.
assumption about, oh, you can't tell because it's up in the air. You can.
No, you're telling me that I know something when you can't tell me that I know something. That's what I'm telling you. So you can believe that that's across the line, and I'm not going to dispute that you believe that, and that that is your interpretation. But you are not going to get me to agree upon something that I cannot say for myself that that is the case. So So you may not be wrong, but I'm not going to come to the same agreement
You
with you.
can see that it is, and you're not gonna, you don't wanna say it.
So why? Why?
Last time, when it was like the tree was,
But you're holding me responsible because you didn't like the way something was handled by my department for a completely separate instance.
no, it's the same thing.
It's not the same thing. We're talking about a property line where I don't believe that this qualifies as it being a violation of trespassing versus someone who you said came feet onto your property physically to remove it.
Hey, when they had to cut the rock.
You continue to say you, me as an organization. You're right, I do represent the police department, and in doing so, I also represent the people of the town.
I don't feel represented.
Well, I'm sorry that you feel that way. I'm sorry that you feel that way.
I don't, and I haven't, anytime I've had people trespassing on my property.
Well, again, you use the word trespassing as if it's your interpretation of trespassing, but just because you feel that it's trespassing
The law,
doesn't mean
it's not open to interpretation.
the law is completely open to interpretation. That's why people practice the law, because it requires you to interpret the law in order to make sure someone is guilty of something or not. I don't work in the realm of guilt or not guilt. I work in the realm of probable cause, which means that there are facts and circumstances that would lead a reasonable officer to believe that someone has committed a crime. And if it's not within the letter of the crime, then the crime was not committed, or I don't have enough to prove that a crime was committed. So while you may,
You can tell them, don't go over the line.
I thought they've already been instructed not to go over the property line.
They did it around
He
the
moved his barrel across it, yes, but I don't believe he is intentionally cutting anything going beyond any line. And I'm not going to tell him that he can't go to a space to stay protected from a power line in order to do his job. And if you don't like how he's doing his job, then you should file a civil lawsuit against the
Look
company.
at my property,
They're not in your property.
and I don't want them damaging my property.
I don't want them to either.
And I'm looking over here, and I'm seeing that they cut things that were over there.
I understand that, Tom, but that's the way it works, unfortunately. Is that the police don't have a say in this other than to say it's not criminal.
I should feel that when I call the police to protect me and protect my property, that I feel protected, and I don't.
And take on a role that the police is not governing.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. The police have never supported us.
Well, you say that, but you're asking us to do something that's not a law enforcement function.
Yes,
That's like me asking my mechanic to come to my house and fix my pool.
No, it isn't.
It is exactly the same. And then say that they're not there to help.
Protect my property.
I am protecting your property from trespassing. Not a single person since I've been here has marched onto your property or come onto your property without your permission. And you've made that position quite clear.
I have.
I haven't seen anyone walk on your property.
I didn't say walk on my property.
You're saying that he elevated himself to a position above your property to cut a tree
And
branch.
it's cutting my tree.
And I would say that that's not necessarily trespassing.
But they should have asked me.
Well, no, they're recording because they have a channel and they post all their jobs that they do
No,
on YouTube.
No, that's not his person.
That's his person. That's with the tree company.
He asked for that. He asked for it to be recorded. The woman who owns the house, because she knew what she was doing was
Well,
not
he
right.
may have authorized the recording, but they record a lot of the jobs that they do. And you know what? Maybe it is also to protect them against frivolous lawsuits, but they also do so because it helps with their publicity. And I'm not a part of their business model, so I don't know if it's beneficial or not, but they think it is.
Post it on Facebook too.
There you go. And you can. It's your right as a citizen to do so.
I know.
Okay.
What they did was wrong.
Okay, so continue to document it, and then if you feel that they have committed a civil penalty, then you will have to bring it up through small claims court. You have to get a tort and bring up some type of civil litigation against them. But this isn't a crime.
It doesn't have to be a small claims court.
I don't know civil law. Even more, I'm telling you, I'm the criminal guy.
And this is criminal.
This is not criminal.
You're trespassing. That's criminal.
It's not trespass.
It's trespassing.
And if you want them to clean up, they can. I'm sure they will, with your
All these
permission.
branches,
If you want them to,
I don't want them in my
then,
yard.
then they can't pick them up. So it's like you either want them to clean up or you don't want them to clean up. They can't be both. Again, for the third time, I will do that.
My police department to protect me.
But then you're not asking for protection. You're asking for us to enforce something that is not a police matter, and then you're unhappy because we're treating it as though it's a civil matter. And you want me to treat it as though it's a criminal matter.
No, I'm not asking you to blur the lines. I'm
700.
She's probably cooling off, right? Or whatever.
No.
I don't think she'd pop over the fence. I don't think she's coming
No,
over.
I don't believe she will. So
Yeah, I don't think so.
the biggest point of contention is your movement of the boom. And because your boom crossed what she perceived to be the property line,
Gotcha.
that she feels that you have now encroached upon the part of the tree.
I guess I'm here.
Now, as I explained,
That's strange, huh?
expressed to her,
Wow. My phone's been recording for 30 minutes and I didn't even know it. That's strange. Anybody even still in here? I don't even know what time it is. My phone's not supposed to be recording. It's 12:20. Well, that's struck. Sorry, guys. Didn't mean to, boy, you could have heard all kinds of stuff from my house, huh? That's happens all the time, don't it? I guess I'll quit leaving my phone running. Anybody still in here? 6 people in here. Heck, I get more people when I don't talk. Anyway, I was watching drama on YouTube as usual. Anybody still here? Says 6 people here. Anyway, anybody catch the hearings today? Let me get my phone cleaned up here a little bit. If anybody saw the hearings with the FBI director, she's obstinate. What's up, Jake? Anyway, glad you're here. I get more people when I don't talk. Maybe I need to just do that. I open a live stream and not even talk. There's a lot of stuff I want to talk about. Main thing is, I don't know, they've said now there are 3 shooters. Political clown show. Yeah, it's all corrupt. The fact that people say that Donald Trump set the whole thing up is astounding. What's up, Gabby? That's astounding to me. Even my daughter, when she's over here today, she works with some really liberal wackos. The people she works with, they're completely wacko, out of their freaking minds liberal. They're like, well, Donald Trump set it all up. And I'm like, are you kidding me? The best snipers in the world would not take that shot to miss. They wouldn't take that shot to knock the ear off, the corner of an ear off somebody. 1,000 things could happen. Wind, you could get bumped, you could have a bad load. I mean, there's 1,000 things that could go wrong to keep you from making that shot. But yeah, from all that I've watched so far, there were 3 shooters, one on a water tower, one behind the International Harvester tractor. Don't think that douche canoe on the sloped roof, the dangerous slope roof, don't think that he made that shot. It didn't happen. What I will tell you is that it just came out about 30 minutes ago. It was out earlier today, but it's being confirmed about a half an hour ago. There was a stand down order. They were the Secret Service and cops all around were told to stand down. Do not use your binoculars for anything. Don't use any scopes to look anywhere. Do not look at they were told, don't look at this building, don't look at this building, don't look at this building. They were told, don't look in these directions. For 30 minutes, they said radio silence. Nobody get on the walkies. Nothing. They said radio silence. The shooter got off 6 shots. 6 shots. And only one person was killed, and Trump and another person was injured. That's remarkable. And I've seen the videos where shots come from the left and from the right. So, amazing. Amazing. Lying. Who's lying? Lisa? I don't even know who Lisa B is. I don't think I've ever seen her on there. Lying. I'd like to know who's lying. I did find it. We'll come on back to my hemisphere now. It is so strange. I don't know if you guys went and checked out the angry black woman in California. I think I left the link. I'm not lying about anything. I'm telling you facts. Was right here. But you would know that because you probably love CNN. But the angry black woman, heck, you may be the angry black woman. I don't know. I don't know if anybody went to that channel. I think I left her link. Oh, yeah, we know each other. I doubt that you know me. I can about guarantee you have no idea who I am. But the angry black woman who attacked me and said, you don't know what you're talking about. How we're supposed to be quiet. How are we supposed to be quiet? Blah, 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 blah. About being targeted. People never listen to context, especially when it comes to me. For some reason, everybody like Lisa in here who loves to be the arbiter of all things, whatever, that I'm a liar. Well, the people that have been on my channel for a very, very, very long time, they can go and pinpoint any video in all the videos I've made and try to find a place where I lied. I tried to make a bullet vest. I didn't try to. I've got one. It's in there. So I didn't try. It's in there, and it will protect. It's actually up to a level 4. It'll stop SKS. It'll stop a 44 Magnum. It'll stop a high-powered rifle. I've been around watching you. Yes, you have. I'm sure you have. I'm getting ready to delete that person if she didn't just, because I don't want to be bothered by it anyway. Anyway, but yeah, the angry black woman, she did not understand the point of my video of tips for targeted individuals. Too heavy. Lisa, you may very well be too heavy. You're correct. You very well may be too heavy. I would probably say alter your diet, get some exercise. I think you need to find some sunlight because the anger that you're projecting towards me is probably unreasonable. So it's not going to be good on your heart. Not good on your heart. Ain't that right, Gabby? But yeah, tips for targeted individuals to have a better, safer life. The best tip for that would be what? To not attract attention. So all the people say, we need to get out on the streets and tell everybody it's happening. Have you guys ever watched, and you can go to Target, and somebody mentioned last week, Targeted Justice had a lawsuit and it went to the Supreme Court. Well, I read the brief. I read the decision from the Supreme Court, California. They kicked everything out. They kicked everything out. So anybody that thinks that they're going to sue for being targeted, they're going to realize real quick, you're pissing your money away. You're just lighting your money on fire and burning it. Boeing had hearings, because I watched the hearings. I watched C-SPAN, all those kind of hearings. I sit right here and watch everything government. I mean, I've actually left it alone. I've tried to stay out of it. I deleted all my news sites. I got rid of it. I didn't want to hear it. I want to be, because I've got to focus on what I'm doing. I got to focus on my health and the health of my family. So even Boeing, multi-billion-dollar business, they're part of the defense industry. They have whistleblowers, many whistleblowers who came forward with video, who came forward with statements about what was said to them. They could show the paperwork where they were told to stand down when defective parts were being put onto jets. These jets are falling out of the sky. On Monday, he was there to testify. He gave record-breaking testimony on Monday. Tuesday was going to be the real big stuff. And he mysteriously died Monday night. And everything went quiet. Boeing whistleblower dies. 2 whistleblowers killed. 2. So did anybody think that this is going that going and getting on the corner and saying, I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. So the point of my video, tips for targeted individuals, is to say, if you want to have a cool, calm life and thrive instead of suffer daily like most targeted individuals do, decompress, let it go. You don't have to attract attention. The Bible says what was the exact verse? You need to be cool and calm, work a job with your hands, and be quiet. That's what the Bible says. The Bible says that. So, and what Lisa probably doesn't know, the Bible says that God adores a meek and quiet woman, that loud women will not be in heaven. So sorry, girls, if you're loud and obnoxious, you're probably not going to get there. But anyway, yeah, the angry black woman, and you should go check her video. I left the link in it, and it's just, she's like, this targeted citizen, he's not a real person. And in everything that she says, even the name of her channel is Real T.I. Well, I don't watch enough of her videos, but I do find the timing of her coming to attack me rather peculiar, seeing as though that somebody reached out to me for help, and then when they didn't like what I had to say, the very next hour there was an attack video about me. So I don't care. You know, I've been attacked by bigger and badder. It doesn't matter to me. And by the way, I did not block Lisa, whomever she may be. The lie she caught me on was I didn't make a bulletproof. It's in there. It's right there where I keep it at all times. And there's times that, it's a welding vest. It's a welding vest with fiberglass. because I want to be legal. But yeah, I apologize, guys, that this thing was sitting there recording. I guess you got to hear what I was watching on TV. Anyway, anybody got questions, comments, anything like that? But for a targeted individual, listen. If you'll lay low, if you'll quit thinking about the targeted, if you'll quit researching, quit finding this, quit trying to find that, quit trying to find out who's suing. If you do all that stuff, you're in it. You attract all that negativity. When you walk away from it and just give yourself time to try to be normal. If you see these planes, and listen, just as many planes fly over me as they ever have. It's actually more now. It's more now because I go to different counties. So it's more of the same, but there are even new planes that come from different airports to just around me. So the best thing for a targeted individual to do is to don't go to the groups because you attract attention. And a lot, and I will tell you from the bottom of my heart, God bless targeted individuals. I feel for every single one. But there is no worse crowd on this planet than you can be is on a community call with 10 targeted individuals. Because exactly what I told you happened to me the first time I made a comment. I was attacked ferociously. So bad that when I got off the call, the other women who were on it went and was like, wow, she just chewed him out. And he was just asking honest questions. He was being honest and he was being polite. And she just ripped him apart. Now, this is what I was told, not what I witnessed, firsthand. So I only tell you what I know. So, yeah, get on a call and what happened? Woo! All crap breaks loose because targeted individuals are always looking for something that doesn't sound right to them. If it doesn't agree with everything that they agree, he's infiltrated. He's a perp. He's trying to scam, as Lisa so articulately typed. I scammed. I don't know what I scammed, but I've had that nickname for a few years now that I'm a scammer. Man, I work too hard to have too little to be a scammer. Because it would be too easy to take money from people if that was the whole point of my channel. Because you got to think to yourself, when I was dormant for 3 or 4 months that I didn't say a word on YouTube, if I was scamming, how did I go so far and so long without that money I was stealing from little old ladies? Pretty remarkable claim. Anyway, the obstinance today in the hearing, that one chick, that one lady, Congresswoman, she is a fireball. She's like, this is bull. She said, this is bull crap. Expletive word like 4 times during the hearing. This one dude, he said, you should resign right now and go back to guarding Cheetos. Oh no, Doritos. Go back to guarding Doritos. I mean, this is the first time in probably 10 years. What's up, Eric? This is the first time in 10 years that I've seen a Democrat actually coalesce with what the Republicans were saying. Of course, the Democrats, Jimmy Ratkins is the most vile human up there. What's up, Eric? He is one of the most vile people. He's the one that just had cancer and supposedly got over it. He is so vile. He's disgusting. The first thing he talks about, the Second Amendment. And listen, guys, I made a prediction. Do you guys remember when Joe Biden got elected? Remember the prediction I told you was going to happen? I said there's going to be shootings in America and they're going to use AR-15s. Is that not what I told you? Because I'm going to tell you. I'll tell you this much right now. In my very direct vicinity are certain pew-pews, and I am deadly accurate with the certain pew-pews. Up to, I'll just tell you what I know because I didn't shoot any further. Deadly accurate, 350. 350, dead on the money. And I don't have anything high-powered. Me personally, I don't have anything high-powered. I got black powder. So, Jamie Raskin, the Second Amendment. You don't want to use an AR. AR is not the weapon you use for an assassination. That's not the shot. It's not it. Sorry, that's not the one. I've seen a couple of videos that came out that showed the shooter transsexual. Hopefully the fire. No, what they're doing, they're impeaching her. They just started the impeachment hearings 30 minutes ago. So while you guys are right here listening to everything going on in my bedroom or in my living room, they started the impeachment hearings. They impeached her tonight. But that means nothing. They impeached they impeached Mayorkas. He's still there. They're all still there. She says she's not going to go. Joe Biden doesn't know anything that's going on. And listen, guys, I told you, remember when I predicted there's going to be shootings and it's going to be done with an AR-15. Why? Because they want to take away the AR-15. Why do they want to take away the AR-15? Because that is the most common firearm for American defense. Okay? I mean, the bullets are no bigger. The bullets are no bigger than a .22. An AR-15 is not a weapon of war at all. If you go to war with an AR-15, you're going to die. You're going to die. Why are they so hard to fire? They don't fire anybody. And that's another thing that I have a problem with the person I was talking to the other night. And listen, I'm still willing to help her. If she still wants help, I'll still help her. Because you know me. I traveled to Arkansas to help that one wacko person. I can't even remember her channel name was something like Moonlight, something or other. Anyway. But I lost my train of thought. Wow, where did it go? I went to help somebody. Oh. She said, she made the statement to me, there's been 30 people fired so far because of what happened to Donald Trump. And I'm like, no, there hasn't. Not one person has been fired. No one's been laid off. No one's been suspended. Nobody's even been moved around. No one loses their job when DEI is in the works. When DEI is the platform you're running on, no one loses their job. There's no defeat. There's no firing. There's nothing negative. You're a good guy, man, helping people. God bless you, Eric. Thanks for, I hope, recognizing that. But with DEI, there is no incompetence. There's not. There's no striving to be the best. There's no, you're better than me. No, we're competing. No, there's no competition with DEI. The only way you compete with DEI is who is the bigger victim. Well, I'm black, and I grew up in the hood, and I'm also gay, and I'm going to change myself. I'm going to cut off my weenus. You're in the super Olympics then. You're the head of the Olympic committee on DEI if you got all that issues going on. So, yeah, there's no, that's why it fails. Said, I went back and I looked up, but Larry Fink, Lawrence Fink, he is the CEO of BlackRock. Now, I don't know if you remember the shakeup about 2 or 3 weeks ago, maybe even a month ago. He resigned his position at BlackRock. Now they're saying that Donald Trump is going to pick Larry Fink. Are you listening to me? That Donald Trump is on his pick sheet for Treasury Secretary. That's bad. Also on Trump's top pick for Treasury Secretary is Jamie Dimon. And he is another deep state. All his money is in the surveillance state. He's a multi-billionaire. Jamie Dimon has been coming out because he's always been a super liberal, but as wacky as things have been, either it's so wacky he's going to say, "Oh, we got to call stop on this," or he's changing his affiliation to get into the mix to go up and control things that are going up on Capitol Hill. So, you guys see where I'm laying at? Right? Exactly where the radiation hole is, because this is exactly where I lay at. So, when I tell you there's radiation, right? So, that's the way that goes. So, it is what it is. Anybody else has something to say? We'll talk. But yeah, if Trump picks, and like I said, Larry Finkelstein, or whatever his name is, Lawrence Fink, there's a photo going around of him with the shooter. Also, the shooter was in several BlackRock commercials. Listen, guys, if you know anything about the psychotropic weapons, guys, 8 people in here, give me a thumbs up, for goodness sake. Come on, Eric, you can throw me a thumbs up. Psychotropic weapons. The last the majority of the last shootings, the mass casualty shootings, which is 3 people. 3 people is not mass shootings. Barack Obama lowered it, remember. He lowered the standard for mass shootings. But the majority of the last mass casualty events in America were done by transsexuals. Why? Because a lot of them are on the same psychotropic medications, and they're so easy to manipulate. They're so easy to hit. And here's something that just now hit me. Take away, go radio silent for 30 minutes. And here's another one about the shooter that I learned today. They showed that kid took up a drone 30 minutes before Donald Trump showed up. Put a drone up in the sky for 30 minutes. 30 minutes ahead of time, puts a drone up. The pictures of the death scene. He had a remote control, and now they say, oh, he had a pipe bomb in his bag. Isn't it weird how every time there's a mass casualty event where Republicans supposedly are at, it's just like the 2 pipe bombs that were at the RNC and the DNC. They have little old ladies locked up in prison right now for January 6th. But they couldn't find the pipe bomber. Well, you know and I know he was an FBI agent. Just like this kid supposedly made a pipe bomb. They said they checked his phone and the phone was wiped. Woo! They said as soon as they pulled the kid's body off the roof, instead of taking pictures of all the scene, instead of interviewing every person there, instead of doing all that and your aerial shots of everything, they came right then and there before his body was cold and started pressure washing and scrubbing the roof. Why would they scrub the roof? I would probably say to you that they had a trial run beforehand with more than him to practice the shot. That was that and the water tower, and on the other side, underneath the International Harvester, was the top 3 best places, and those were the only places where no one was allowed to look at. I don't know if you guys have ever studied the JFK assassination, but I saw the actual tape of the JFK assassination, not the one that they show on TV, not the one they always show on TV. I saw the actual tape, and it was a photo or video that wasn't supposed to be released, but accidentally, I'd say a gift from God was released. And the woman gets on there. She says, "Listen," she said, "I saw the actual video," and it was like, "Which one?" And they started playing the one that they showed on TV. Then the woman says, "Wait a second. Go back, rewind it, and play it slow." And they go back and they play the video slow, the one that they showed on TV for all of us. Half the tree is missing. In that clip, the driver turns around and shoots Kennedy right in the face. It's on video. It's plain as day that the driver turns around and shoots him in broad daylight. In that video, you can see the full tree standing there. But in the edited film that they showed to the whole world, half the tree was missing. The tree was literally, this is like at that time, probably a 40-year-old maple. It's floating in midair. So very bizarre. So if only 2 people gave a thumbs up, that means there's 6 people now that do not like what I'm saying. Is that it? Hit the thumbs up. It doesn't cost anything to give me a thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up. I mean, I'm just doing it for poops and giggles. What do you guys want to talk about? I mean, I'm up. I'm awake. Ain't no way I'm going to go to sleep. Got a big day tomorrow. I told you they're trying to sell the house, and we get last-minute warnings. Hey, we're going to come try to buy the house tomorrow. So another hectic day around here. But, yeah. Didn't tell you this. Don't know if I shared it on my channel or not. Did you guys see that now America's troops, we have ships that have entered into Russian naval space. So now we're tempting them for war. We're tempting Russia. Russia scrambled their troops to come and meet our carriers. It's coming, folks. I'm not selling my house. The people that we've rented from for 10 years are selling the house. The old man is wealthy, and his 2 sons, I think it was like his mother's house, his childhood home. His 2 children are like 60 or 70. He's like 90. The kids are, one's a doctor, one's a lawyer, and they don't want it. They said, we don't want it, just cash out. They didn't give us an option to buy. I wouldn't want the house anyway. It's a dump. I mean, it's a dump. The floors have fallen. The walls have disconnected from the floors. The whole building is shifted because they could have paid me to do it a long time ago. I could have jacked up underneath the house and braced it back up. I did not know this. This house was built in 1914. I had no idea that this house, oh my God, this house is 110 years old. That's remarkable. I did not know. 110 years old. That's crazy. Where am I? Tina, I don't know. It's in God's hands, buddy. At the moment, I'm not going to speak anything negative into the airspace, but at the moment, we don't have the money to move. We signed another lease. Thank God. We signed another lease for another year. If a buyer buys it, they have to honor the lease. This is what I've been told, that they have to honor the lease. But you know as well as I do, if they want you out, they could find any reason to put you out. All they got to do is say, oh, there's a stick in the front yard. You're not taking good enough care of the yard. You're out. They got the house listed for like $99,000. Of course, that is about $60,000 over what the actual value of this house is. With the high inflation, the highly inflated housing market right now, they got it at $99,000. So that's way too much. And I told Tina this day's coming. I knew when they put the new roof on last year, I said, they're getting ready to make a move. I said, they're not going to keep, because they've never spent any money on us. The whole time we've lived here, they ain't spent money on anything except what they had to, like a refrigerator. They bought 2 refrigerators. They bought the same exact refrigerator twice. And it's cheap junk. But, and then when they put the air unit in, I said, honey, that's $9,000. It's almost $10,000 for an air unit. Something's up. We got to be prepared. And no one listens to me. You guys know that. Nobody listens to me. There's nothing I could say that. It's like I said, everybody wants to hear what I got to say, but nobody listens. So I put my faith in God. That's all I can do. I'm put my faith in the Lord. He's going to work everything out. Today was a good day. My grandson had physical therapy, and my daughter brought him over here, and I had to wake him up because I'm Papa. But that youngin is healthy. He just wants to jump. That's all he does is just jump. He is so amazing. The fact that our country allows a woman the right to murder a baby older than 22 weeks when he was born. That's all I can do, Eric, is trust in Jesus. That's it. God's really been on me lately, and I'm so stupid that I just don't listen. Every minute of every day, God's like, pick up your Bible. Pick up your Bible. And I'll be darned if a woman popped up in my YouTube shorts. She's like, I had a dream of the rapture. And she said, I dreamed that I went up and I was floating and I went to God. And God said, you're guilty of gluttony. Look at you. All you do is eat. And then God said, you're guilty of slothfulness because you're lazy and you don't want to do nothing. And she's like, you don't even know me. You don't know anything about my Bible. You don't even read my Bible. You don't do anything for me. You don't have a relationship with me. And she said, while she was having this dream, that God delivered her. She said, she was addicted to some kind of candy. She said, while she was sleeping, having this rapture dream, that she was delivered of the demons of gluttony, delivered of the demon of addiction, being addicted to that product, being addicted to, I think it's her cell phone or technology or something. She said, but I was morbidly obese and all this stuff, and God delivered me as I slept. She said, I was dreaming about meeting God. And he said, I had to change this and this. And when she woke up, she was delivered from all that evil. So God's on me, and here just stupid me. I just can't pick up a Bible and read it. I mean, even tonight, I was like, I need to get it. And it's just over there. It's over my shoulder, and I just won't walk over and get it. I don't want to go to hell. I do not want to go to hell. And I don't want to miss the rapture. And in my heart, I know, I can't say I know. In my heart, I think that all crap's going to hit the fan before Jesus comes back to take his bride. That's in my heart. And I want to be here for my family. I mean, I would risk hell to go for my children to take care of the people I love. I don't want to go to hell. Now, don't get me wrong. If it comes, No, I don't want to go to hell. I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want it. This life has been bad enough. I don't want help. But anybody out there, if you haven't asked God for forgiveness for your sins, you need to. And if you go to the link about that woman in California sitting there cussing Jesus, just pray for her. Pray that God will deliver her from this demonic spirit that's underneath her. As I told you the other night, I watch a lot of street preaching. I watch Gabe, the preacher. He's really good. He's in California. Him and his wife, she holds a sign, she records him, and he goes out and preaches the word of God. He goes to church. He goes everywhere and preaches the gospel. He goes to a lot of gay parades, and I mean, I've seen him be spit on and attacked. Team Jesus preachers, I've been unsubbed from them a lot. They travel all over the country. Right now, they're on a beach tour. I love watching David Lynn. David Lynn travels the world and preaches the gospel for Jesus. And here's the thing, guys, that we have to learn. You're never 100% going to agree on the Bible. We're never 100% going to agree on preaching, but we have to look over what we don't agree in to find God in the scriptures. I was watching Mark Driscoll. Anytime Mason's in the truck with me, his mom made him go with me today. Anytime he's in the truck, I want him to hear God. I want to hear godly men talking about being a man. And I like Mark Driscoll, and I told Mason I really like him, but he'll say one scripture, and the rest of the time is him talking. It's one thing about John MacArthur that I like. Pardon me, my eyes really wiped out today. I worked a machete today for about 2.5, 3 hours, and I had a limb come right up and slap me in my eyeball, and it's real red and irritating. But John MacArthur, even though I do not agree with his cessation, he's a cessationist. He doesn't believe in the gifts of the Spirit. He doesn't believe Jesus talks to people, but he reads the Bible. That's what he does. Let me get this. Masons Dakota, big dog. Woo woo. I can attest. Target assistant, absolutely being stuck with drones. I live 2 hours away from him. Got the same treatment. Well, thank you, man. Who are you? Matrix Dakota. I don't know who you are. Have you been on here before, bud? 2 hours away from me, huh? Yeah, I mean, I can go out there in the yard right now and show you. But I don't know where Lisa went. Lisa, I hope you're still here because I did not block Lisa, guys. If you come in and hit that thumbs up button, I did not block Lisa. Her little comments doesn't bother me at all. It's just a little distracting when I want to talk to you guys. But John MacArthur, he reads the Bible, and I like it when a man reads the Bible. It's edifying, and I love his explanations of it. I mean, I learned the problem with being targeted is I cannot focus on one thing. I cannot focus at all. I have no memory. I cannot retain any of the knowledge I learned. Now, ask me how, and the reason is I'm a visual person. Just like I can watch the hearings, and I know what they said. I know the people that say it. I can bring up that stuff. But it's like remembering phone numbers. Do you guys realize I'm 49 years old now? We used to walk around and know phone numbers in our head. Go home, pull the phone off the wall. If you're lucky, you had to pull the antenna out of the end of yours, and you would type in the number. We knew them. We knew the number. Now I know my number some days, and I know Tina's. I do not know another number whatsoever. I know my old number because I still have my commercial accounts from when I had my business at different auto parts stores. So I tell them, I give them my commercial number. That way I can, sometimes I get a discount, sometimes I don't. But I've done business with them so long they want me to keep the account. But we used to remember phone numbers. The dumbing down of America. And a lot comes with the frequencies that we're being hit with. A lot comes with the food we eat. I mean, red dye 40 is poison, and it's in everything. And I tell Tina, and she doesn't even, that girl don't care. She gonna eat what she wants. She ain't gonna exercise. That woman's never looked in the mirror and said, I'm fat. She never said, I need to lose weight. Never. She's so comfortable with herself, it doesn't bother her at all. And that's a good thing. I mean, I don't think you should ever be satisfied with yourself. You can always improve yourself. My problem is I used to work out, but I worked so hard during the day I didn't have to. I got my figure from working and doing. I mean, what do they say? There's two different bodies. There's the gym body and there's the farm boy body. I always had the farm body. Gobby, move out of the way, sir. You don't need to debut your butthole on the TV. So his butthole kind of distracted me. Anyway, we should always be bettering ourselves somehow. Or you're the dad bod. I don't think I got a bad dad bod, dude. I'm pretty fit. I'm pretty fit for my age, considering I got a messed up shoulder. My shoulder's just trash. But I'm praying. Let me tell you a story. I was working at Hackney, HT Hackney, many years. I think I was 19 years old, and what they do is they service grocery stores, gas stations. They bring goods. So what you'd have to do is you get an order, you'd pick it, put it on a pallet, ride around on a pallet jack. The electrified ones had big batteries in them. You'd ride around, pick up the order, wrap it up, and then the truck would haul it off. And because I worked at Pet Dairy when I was even younger than that, making ice cream, I was a shoe-in. So as I had this job, third shift, no, I worked second shift there. I worked during the day, and I'd work second shift there. But while I was there working in the freezer, these pallet jacks had these big, huge batteries. The batteries are like 3 feet tall, 4 feet long, and 2 feet wide. Big, huge batteries. We would have pallet jack races. Cool, man. We had such a good time working that job. But I went in the freezer one day and hit a piece of ice, and it pinned my knee between the rack, a metal rack, and the pallet jack, the top of the pallet jack, right there on the joint of my knee. And to get out of it, it literally had me bowed over frontwards. It was kicking my knee backwards. And to get it out, I had to hit the throttle to go the other way. Well, it ground my knee. It just ground my knee. And something in it popped. It messed my knee up terribly. I get out and go to the hospital. They check me out. They said, "Oh yeah, you got some major damage to your knee." The doctor put me out. Get your empty sack out of my face, dude. Hey, go on, go. They put me out of work for 30 days, and then while they had me out of work, they went ahead and fired me because I couldn't show up for work, and they didn't care about if a place wants to get rid of you, they'll get rid of you. Anyway, that messed my knee up. My knee was messed up from there on. For the next 20 years, my knee was garbage. I woke up one day, and my knee was miraculously healed. Just 20 years, every day had a catch in. I walked around with a limp for 20 years straight. I had a limp. And it was gone. Overnight, limp was gone. Never had another problem out of it since. And it was miraculous. So I just was talking to God today. I said, "Lord, just fix my shoulder." Because everything else is, besides getting hit with the directed energy weapons, besides losing all my teeth, I got one in the back broke in half. That's a whole other story that needs to be fixed because I haven't chewed on this side of my mouth for 3 years. I've been chewing on this side only. So it gets tough, and you don't really get to enjoy food when you can't eat it. So I'm just going to pray and believe, and I hope you guys will agree that God will miraculously heal my shoulder because it is, I don't want to say it, but it sustained some major damage, and never getting it fixed is pretty much the cause of everything because the hospital said, "Oh, you're faking, so you don't get help." I'm like, "Well, that's great to know. Thanks so much." And then they saw the X-ray, and they were like, "Oh wow, the X-ray looks really bad." Everyone's being targeted, don't you think? I think that everyone is being monitored, and I think when the people are needed, it's just like cops when they want to bust somebody. They watch the cars that come in and out, and they monitor them. And they'll get one guy to rat out as many people as they can, and they'll know about the other people they want to get. And then when that guy's lost his usefulness, or people realize he's a snitch, then they'll move to the next guy and the next guy. So I think that everybody they've already been either. And everyone's been surveilled. You're all being surveilled. The TV right now is watching me. Every electronic in your house is watching you. The Batman movie with Christian Bale. when Batman took all the cell phones in Gotham and made a grid to see everything and every person in Gotham through the frequencies. Remember that in the end of the movie? Morgan Freeman's like, you did what? And it showed all those TVs, right? They did this. They're doing the same thing. They've got everything in your house mapped out because of your cell phone. Because the frequencies from your cell phone, your TV, and all the devices in your house, we are in a digital prison. So everyone is being surveilled. Everyone is being watched. Whenever they need a person in a different area, boom, they activate. That's what you people need to understand when it comes to elections. It is so easy to manipulate someone. And just like my daughter, Digital Matrix, you're exactly right. My daughter is they really messed her up when she was stolen from me. I don't know if the home she was in was liberal, but she's worked with a bunch. I mean, she used to smoke a lot of pot. So potheads are more hippie, more liberal, more left-leaning. And just that influence of the people that she works with, she is just dumb to the way life, to the reality of America. All she knows is America's bad, America's evil, and I agree, America's bad, America is evil. But she doesn't see who's on the good and who's on the bad side. And that's dangerous. And I'll qualify the statement that, yes, Republicans and Democrats are the same, two heads of the same snake. I absolutely agree. But if you want to compare Republican-run cities and Democrat-run cities, Democrat-run cities have the highest crime, the highest poverty, the highest death rate, the highest bads are all at Democrat-controlled. See, every city in America that's been run by a Democrat for 30 years is collapsed under its own weight. Look at California. It is destroyed. There is just death and destruction. Satan is, demon rats. Demon rats. They are the party of death and destruction. And the libertarians are just as useless as Democrats. They're actually more useless because libertarian rules is everybody can do anything you want and it doesn't matter. Well, that's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. You should do, if you want to murder your baby, murder your baby. That's libertarian saying this garbage. So, the Bible even says there's a scripture in the Bible, and I've got it marked somewhere, about the left being evil and the right is on God's side. When you're in a society with people who will jump up and down and burn buildings down because they think you're not allowed to murder a baby any longer, you're living in evil. That is evil. And I don't know, I made this observation because I watch a lot of street preaching. Anytime that like Gabe the Preacher and David Lynn, and there's another one that's in Canada. He used to be under David Lynn's tutelage. I can't even think of his name right now. Anyway, anytime it's like a pro-abortion rally, anytime they're talking about abortion, and even the guy that is in the he's in Oklahoma, and he does street preaching about abortion, anti-abortion. It's always the most disgusting looking bull dyke lesbians that give the most crap about abortion. And I'm thinking to myself, you're bitching about not being able to have a baby. You need to be bitching about the reason why there's no man that will ever get you pregnant to begin with. None of that sounds mean. But when you look at these lesbians, the way they're dressed and the way they act, their whole, they look more of a man than I do at this moment. Nobody's going to impregnate them, but still they're in a rage when somebody says it's not going to be federally mandated. And they're so stupid that they don't understand that gave the states the power to decide. So there's actually more states now having abortion than there was before because it kicked back to the states. I mean, whoever thought that Iowa, and this should prove to everybody the elections are all rigged. Iowa voted for abortion. They voted for marijuana. We're talking Iowa, the middle of the Bible Belt. We're talking farm country as far as the eye can see. And they voted for marijuana and abortion? No. You should not believe that lie. It's all rigged. It's all completely rigged because the things that Donald Trump brought up last time, they've perfected since then. And listen, I do understand, but it's just like with targeting. And this is the people, and God bless them, the people that are on this lawsuit that I need you guys to help me do research. You too, Eric. You're a smart guy. Help me do some research. The guy's name is Callender. 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 I think it may be Tom Callender. Colorado. He is the lawyer who fought to the Supreme Court about the vaccine mandate for the troops. Okay. So supposedly, Todd Callender, that's it. He supposedly is taking on targeted individuals, and he is going to present evidence to the Supreme Court, he's got to start in lower courts first before you get to the Supreme Court. But he's going to provide evidence about targeting to stop it. Now, maybe the people I was talking to, I'm sure they were being secretive. The one person I was talking to, I'm sure there were secrets, and that's okay. I totally understand the anonymity that's required. If they kill Boeing whistleblowers, what do you think's going to happen? You think they're going to hurt somebody in the targeted? Because there's one woman alive in America that sued about being targeted. She won the suit. You see cases, but they don't win anything. And we should clarify, Eric. Was it people that are targeted with the weapons, or was it people being stalked? Because there's I fully agree there's stalking that goes on in America. There's probably 100 DVOs in my county right now for stalking, but I'm talking about being targeted. And this is where the conversation that I was having with this person kind of broke down, because she was separating MK Ultra from directed energy weapons and all that. MK Ultra is its own thing, and they claim, we shut it down in 1979 during the hearings. We shut it down. It didn't shut down. It didn't shut down. It just went dark. There's a difference between shutting down and go dark. What happens is it went dark because they put it into privatized hands. When it's in private hands, then you don't get a FOIA request. You don't get hearings in Congress because it's no longer run by the government. It's run by the private sector. When the private sector has it, it's sold to the highest bidder. So, and another thing people don't understand about MK Ultra, the basis for MK Ultra was they induced people with drugs and then studied them. Okay? Yeah, I've looked up targeted justice. It's a scam. And I respect your opinion, whatever it may be, but targeted justice, it's for years and years and years, people were throwing thousands of dollars at targeted justice. And then once everybody started asking, like, where's the money? Where's the freaking money at? Then targeted justice says, we didn't realize how expensive a lawyer is going to be. Right? You didn't know how much a lawyer's going to be? That's why you get a lawyer on contingency. And Todd Callender, bless his heart, I mean, I have not found the physical proof, because I keep hearing, everybody keeps telling me this about Todd Callender, that he has put up $4 million to fight for targeted individuals. That's the number I was told. Now, I haven't seen that. I'm a visual person. Remember, I'm a visual person. I have not seen a piece of paper that says he put up $4 million for targeted individuals. I haven't seen that piece of paper. I haven't seen where he says, and of course, I haven't watched a whole lot of his stuff. I watched one interview with him, so I don't know. I don't understand it. But they say he put up $4 million of his own money. Now, was it his own money or was it $4 million worth of time? Because it's nice to be humanitarian, and I appreciate anyone that's willing to help a targeted individual. I sure don't get paid for my services. But it's one thing to say, I put up $4 million. It's another thing to say, well, I actually spent, 400 hours on this case, and that's equivalent of $4 million. Right? Right? So, I don't know Todd Callender, and before speaking on it, I probably should investigate more. But I watched an interview with him. I didn't hear any specifics. And I didn't hear him say, I'm going to get these targeted individuals, we're going to get them justice. And I asked the question, I posed the question to you guys. What is justice for you as a targeted individual? What does justice look like? Because you can't fix what has happened to us. I mean, it would be awesome, and I do not doubt that my Father can do anything that he wants to do. God can make anything happen. Jesus Christ can make anything happen. There's not a way to make me whole. Okay? If there's a lawsuit, there's not a way to make me whole. I'll never get the years back with my children that was stolen. And that's the most valuable thing that I lost, was that time that a father builds up his trust with his children, that they'll know. I mean, they already know. They call dad, I'm there. They know that dad is there. It doesn't matter if we fuss, fight, if I'm mad at you for a week, or it doesn't matter. You pick up the phone and you want dad, I am there. Period. How do you make me whole? Because the damage to my body is done. You can't replace the teeth I've lost in my face to the weapons. You can fix a couch that's been hit with radiation, but you can't repair the damage to my body. The mental abuse, the psychological abuse that I have been put under my entire life, because I've been a victim since birth. I have been a victim since birth. There's too many things that happened where I always knew something's different here. Why does everybody pick on me from the time I was born? Even the way my parents treated me as if I did not matter at all. My oldest sister was my dad's favorite. My youngest sister was my mother's favorite. And I was just the one that everybody dumped on. In school, it was the same way in school. My entire life, I have always felt that I was a stranger to this place. And that's great. The Bible says so. But I've also at the same time felt that I had a higher calling. That there was supposed to be something big for me to do in this life. And I found myself the other day in the shower, scrubbing down with borax, trying to rub my skin off, in tears. I hope I remember. I know I was crying when I was asking God, and I hope that's how bad my memory is. God. But I was like, in tears, God, what is my purpose? Because I feel so useless. I feel like I'm getting nothing accomplished. Not only as a father and a spouse, but to God. I'm bringing nothing to God. I'm not. I mean, you can tell people God bless you, and you can maybe witness to one person a month, but what is that? I mean, God says go out in the streets and scream about me, witness to the world, go out to the whole world and spread the gospel. And I failed. I've absolutely failed. But they can't. If a lawsuit goes through, I can assure you, I can almost make 100% promise that the targeted individuals, if by only the grace of God, I think just the everyday stuff we do somehow has the importance of God. Well, maybe filth, but God expects perfection. Do you guys really think that a targeted individual is going to be allowed to spend that money? If only the grace of God, that case is won, you think you're going to spend the money? Because I could pose this question to 10,000 targeted individuals. You want the money or you want the targeting to stop? What are you picking? You picking the money or you picking the targeting to stop? Because I will tell you with all confidence, they're not turning it off. If anything else, it's going to get worse. God forbid you ended up a Manchurian candidate and you wake up on a sloped roof. I suppose that Jesus was a targeted person. Jesus was targeted. I mean, by the first evil. Let me go back and scroll it. Don't think he'd subject us to this if it wasn't somehow a necessary process. We're supposed to witness to people say so. Supposed to. Let me go back to Filth Force. Filth Force. In all honesty, God doesn't do bad to his children. God doesn't do it. God has never done anything bad to his children. Not since the Old Testament. Not since the Talmud. God allows bad things to happen to his children. Can't even. He's just not. He doesn't harm his children. He'll take his covering off of us, but God doesn't do bad things to his children. There used to be, and I mentioned this the other night. Who was the preacher and his wife that would come to the? God, they're on my shoulder. Ooh, I moved that little bit and my shoulder popped out. Wow. Hold on a minute. Oh gosh, that hurts. God doesn't allow bad things to happen to his children, but I know that if that one guy, it was a black guy and his wife, and his name was like Preacher or something. And he would always come on here and say, God targeted us so we would turn to him. And I'm like, no, God didn't do this. God didn't do this to us. But the good that come from the targeting, that has come from the targeting, is I turn my life back to God. And I now know that no matter what happens, I'm still going to praise God. Still going to praise God. It's hard. It's hard to be perfect as God demands. God demands us be perfect. Perfection is what he requires. And just as God says, there are no good men. There are no good humans. We are horrible. We are the most destructive beings on earth. Targeted individual means we are his. Eric, I wish that were true. But like the angry black woman in California who's blaspheming Jesus as we speak, I'm sure she is not his. And we have to realize, and I've learned this, but the Bible says, don't throw your pearls to swine. And what that means is many of these people, God has already taken away every bit of his light. What happens when there's nothing but darkness, when no light can hit any plants? What happens? Everything dies. Everything. The only thing that grows is what? Fungus. Fungus grows in the dark. Mold, mildew, bacteria grows in the dark. When God takes his light off of you, it's over. There's no more. It's called reprobate mind. There's no more hope for you. God knows it's over. So just like the person in California, I hope that everyone would join me in praying for her. Pray that and I find myself doing this a lot. And maybe that's my ministry. I sit here at home and I'll see somebody that's hurting on TV, and I'll stop right then and there and just start praying. And I'm not saying this. I don't want your thanks. I don't want your gratitude. I don't want you to think I'm a good guy. None of that. Because Lisa knows I'm an evil guy that can't build a houseboat. Okay. I pray anyway. I pray for these people that I don't know. So what we do wrong as Christians, what I do wrong as a Christian, and I don't do it much, but once you pray, it's in God's hands. You don't keep praying for the same thing, because what you've done is you've taken it out of God's hands and put it back in yours. Well, if you pray for somebody to get healthy again, you don't continue to pray. You just thank God it's done. And like I said, my breakthrough came when I was praying to God and praising God, not, hey, ATM machine, my code is 1234. I need cash. That don't work. It don't work. And that's why a lot of people are so vulnerable, because people are so desperate. And as America and the world collapses deeper and deeper, people are going to get more desperate. I don't know if you guys went back and watched that John Rich interview with Tucker Carlson. He was talking about the Scofield Bible, where Scofield is the one back in the 1800s made his own Bible. And he's the one that came up with the pre-tribulation rapture. And all these people, especially our Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, believes that God's going to bring that cruise ship down here, open up doors, say, okay, folks, come on down here. I'm going to get you out of here before the crap hits the fan. That is satanic. That is ungodly, and it is evil, because when the crap hits the fan, and all these Christians that have believed in the pre-trib rapture all this time, when they're sitting here wondering what they missed the boat, we're supposed to be gone by now. What's that going to do? It's going to trigger their fear, and they're going to do what? The first thing they're going to do, they're going to deny God, and they're going to believe in nothing. God didn't save me. I was taught that God's going to come down here and save me, and God hasn't saved me, and everything went to crap. And the same thing about, God bless them, all these people online are talking about, all we got to do is get Donald Trump in the presidency, and America's going to turn around. And I'm like, no, it's not going to work. I know the Bible talks about a great revival and all that, but everyone is praying for God to save America. God is not going to save what he said is going to be doomed. And that's the person that contacted me, and we're talking about helping. And I said the same analogy the other night. I said, just like with the lawsuit, we're gonna sue them, and they're gonna stop it, and we're gonna put them in jail and take their money and do this, that, and the other. I was like, well, we put up with abortion in America, but guess what? Abortion was always going to happen in America. It's always going to happen. I mean, Christians, our parents, our mother and fathers failed us. If you're my age and your parents are boomers, they failed us. They were so busy trying to make a living, they didn't keep an eye on their government, and their government ran wild. Their government spent us into oblivion. I can go right now and listen. There's a good channel called Clayton Morris. I think is his last name, him and his wife. He's formerly a Fox News host. It's called Redacted. They got a lot of good information, and it's not BS. It's straight to the point. It's no dramatics. Good show, good information. They've got a counter clock. And Mason said, "Is that how much America's in debt?" He said, "Is it moving that fast?" I said, "We owe more in interest right now than even the debt's worth. We owe more in interest to China because they bought all of our savings bonds. So America is completely bankrupt. I mean, in actuality, we're $100 trillion in debt. $100 trillion. And these evil people that are up there working have reaped all the rewards. Both sides are rich as they can be. And nobody's going to stop them. It's not going to end. So praying, that's like going to the Great Wall of China and praying that, God, I want you to take this wall down. Pray this wall is going to go down. Well, I mean, it's going to go down. If God doesn't will it, it's not going to happen. And with America, I guess you can pray for God to save it, but no. God doesn't save countries. Not any longer. God saves people. He didn't save Israel. He saved the people. He delivered the Jews out of the mouth of the Egyptians, out of slavery. And if you go back and look at Jewish history, that was all Israel. Palestine all the way to the sea, that was all Israel. It never belonged to the Palestinians. Never belonged to the Palestinians. Ever. Never in history did it belong to them. And everybody said, oh, it's a genocide. They're still in the land. It's apartheid. It never belonged to them. Go back and read actual history. You'll see God doesn't save places. He saves people. And America is the great Satan, just as the world knows. America is the source, is the majority of the source of majority of all evil in the world comes from us, our country. The greatest evil in the world was built here. Nuclear weapons here. The atom bomb here. The internet here. All the poisonous medicine in the world here. Now, many great things came from America, but we are the arbiter of evil. We have the most destructive weapons you can imagine. But this is what the American citizens don't understand. Our military is not in our charge anymore. They are owned. They have been purchased. And the majority of them are so blind, they can't see. So God's not going to save America. And what breaks my heart the most about these lawsuits is, and I feel so much empathy, just like the Bobby woman. I feel so much empathy for her that every day, every night, she's in that chair in a dark room staring at computer screens, researching this and going over that and all this. You are choosing to stay in that prison. So not only was they were put into a digital prison, but you were helping fortify that prison by refusing to leave. I mean, there's one thing about eating a poison cookie, but once you start feeling sick from it, and somebody says, yeah, you might have been poisoned, you don't keep eating the cookie. You put it down, walk away from it. My breakthrough in Tartan came when I just said, I'm not going to pay attention no more. What's the point of trying to change something that I can't do nothing about? They're not going to stop targeting me. I went out there yesterday morning. They killed Tina's car. And Tina's like, well, you were sitting there talking on the phone for an hour and the headlights were on. And I was like, okay, maybe I did. Maybe I killed it. And then I go out in my truck a couple hours later, my Ranger's dead too. Huh. So all that happens right when I start talking to another targeted individual that's having problems. So now I start getting flat. I mean, stupid stuff always happens. There's always something stupid going on around this house and around me. There's always something that just doesn't make sense. I mean, that battery's it's been dead 5 times past 6 months, so I'm used to it. Just randomly just going dead. I don't leave my lights on. You know what I mean? I don't leave my lights on. I'll come out there and my lights have been on all night long. I didn't turn them on. And I can't lock the door because I don't have a key to the door because they stole all my keys and I ain't had the money to fix the door, to make a door key for it. So I don't ever lock it. Right? Just like my Bronco. I don't have the key to the back glass. I got the key to the rest of them because they stole all my keys. The whole thing of the keys, my whole thing of keys just disappeared. And to get all the keys back, that's $350. I don't have it. That's okay. You just gotta choose your battles, and you don't have to fight every battle. If you're a targeted individual, take my advice. Stop researching it. Stop trying to find it. Stop trying to reach out. If somebody knows that you're targeted and they want to talk to them and comfort them and pray for them. But if you don't, if Jesus Christ is not in your conversation, you are failing that person. You're failing them. You cannot shield yourself from what's here. There ain't but so many borax baths you can take. There's not a supplement that's going to stop it. You can't wrap yourself up in an aluminum foil condom. You might as well try to blow the sun up tomorrow and make it disappear. I mean, I think they already have done that. I think they've already stopped the sun. I'm pretty sure they did. But every day, that person's after me. That person's after me. Oh, I recognize that car. Ooh, that plane. I'm guilty. Yes. But the point of me starting this channel was to show you guys the life of an actual targeted individual. I can't judge anyone else. There's not another targeted individual's page that I go to, guys. I don't go to any of them. None. When that black woman attacked me, I said, well, we'll find out who real T.I. is. And I went in her channel, and she was attacking me for like 5 minutes straight. I was like, okay, God bless her. And I left her a comment. I said, you're an angry black woman. You should probably, think about changing that. I can't live without saying something. You know what I mean? I'm me. I wouldn't. And God's working on me. God's working hard on me about leaving comments. If you're not being uplifted, what do they say? If you ain't got something nice to say, don't say nothing else. So I'm trying. I'm doing better. But if you're a targeted individual, especially these new people, this last person, I'm sure she's targeted for longer. She's like, it's only been a year and a half since she found out she's targeted. And this is no offense to anybody, but if you're a new targeted individual, you don't know anything. You do not know squat. You can read every declassified memo. You can listen to every person that talks. You can learn everything in the world. But until you live it and somebody's told you that's what it was, you don't know what's happening. Even to this day, I have to capture my thoughts to make sure they're mine. They're that slick. And there's a couple other things that I was pushed to do that I'm not even sure now that it was my will. That's why it's so imperative that I don't get angry. Because when they tickle that adrenaline gland, you're not in control any longer, especially me. So I try so hard not to get mad. And Tina's the perfect fit with me when it comes to that, because she don't care. I can sit there in front of her and just cuss my head off and bitch and raise the worst hell in the world, and she'll just go outside and smoke cigarettes and ignore me like it never happened. It doesn't help around here. It doesn't help my self-esteem any, but she'd care less. Nothing bothers her. She's so tuned out. Nothing matters to her. Only matters to her is that job, nothing else. She don't care. So I'll keep my mouth shut, keep on rolling. But the I don't want to say arrogance, because that sounds too harsh, but when I tell you they can implant thoughts in your head, and somebody looks at you and says, they can't do it to me, I'm too smart. That's foolish. When I tell you, and people categorize targeted individuals. Oh, well, he's got V2K and he doesn't. And this is happening to this person. They got MK Ultra. This person doesn't. Everybody gets it. Everybody gets the whole gamut of things. Eventually. Some people, you can just move their keys from the door to the floor, and they will lose their mind in a heartbeat. I know they can dream manipulation, so much manipulation. Yes, Eric, they can manipulate your dreams easily. Electromagnetic pollution, yeah. God, my shoulder popped again. Thank you, Jesus. You're going to heal it in Jesus' name. It is so naive to claim that these are not happening. They will implant thoughts in your head, and you will not know it. And especially the people I try to explain, what do you consider a thought? Because there are many different ways to consider what a thought is. Some people think, well, I think it, therefore it's a thought. Well, no. Some thoughts are not audible, but you can hear your voice in your head. You're talking to yourself in your head. They can manipulate that because all they're doing is they are typing in that known word. It's just a code in your head is all it is. It's ones and zeros is all it is. But they can type a word, boom, it's in your mind. It's an implanted thought. And you'll never know it. Yes, they can read everyone's thoughts just like a text message. Absolutely. I've showed the video on my channel before. They can read your minds. They can implant emotions. They can tickle your dang adrenaline gland and make you just drive you crazy. The best thing, or one of the most destructive things they do, is they can destroy all the dopamine. They can use dopamine blockers, which is nothing but electromagnetic signal on your dopamine producer. And if you don't have dopamine, you're a zombie. You have no emotion. So the thing about people don't understand is when you don't have emotion, only the negative comes through because you're empty. So you have no way to be happy. So you can take away all emotions, but you won't be happy. But you take away all emotions and you're sad because there's no light. There's no life. So without any life, you're dead inside. So and that's why they like getting. That's why they attack a lot of targeted individuals are former drug addicts. Why? They're easier to manipulate. There's so many different cases when you're high or when you're not sober that they can manipulate you and study you. And just like with the MK Ultra program, they know what every drug does, and it doesn't take them but about I think that just from your chemical composition in your DNA, they know exactly what each drug's going to do to you. If not, they're going to find out by putting you in that situation by drugging you. They will drug you, and I know the person, and I know when targeted individuals reach out to me, and the first thing I tell them, and people, if anybody in here, you hit the thumbs up yet. For the people in here, if you haven't talked to me on a one-on-one basis, the first thing I tell you before I start counseling, because I do counsel people who are targeted, the first thing I'm going to tell you is, I love you, I'm going to hurt your feelings, and you're not going to like me, because I'm going to tell you the truth. I will believe you when you tell me something, but I'm going to always tell you the truth. The best thing for you is not to open up a YouTube channel and start videoing your life. That is the worst thing you can do. The worst thing you can do is start calling cops and say, oh, this is happening. These people are after me. Just like with this person. She said that there's so many attempts on her life. And I can honestly believe that she believes that. But it's just been done to me so many times. I've actually been dead 3 times. There were 3 attempts on my life. I was actually dead, and God brought me back from those events. And I'm not saying, oh, I'm the worst targeted individual out there, and they will never do all that to you because they didn't do it. No. I'm saying with implanted thoughts, they can make you think your dog is trying to kill you. They can leave clues. They're clue people. They leave clues. They leave them in your house, and they leave them in your mind. So they can make you think the whole world's trying to kill you. The secret to what they do, and it's not a secret, it's something every targeted individual can know and should know, is the people that truly love you, they can turn them against you and turn you against them just by simply getting you in an argument. Implant a thought, they think you're crazy, and then you'll start on, what, do you think I'm crazy? Do you think I'm crazy? Well, you keep asking if they think you're crazy, then apparently you think that you're almost there, and so they're going to think you're crazy. They turn us against us with all the information they know. They know what your sister did wrong to you. They know what your mother did to you when you were a child. They know everything in your life. The 6 to 8 months that they study you before they put you on this list and into this program, they have studied everything. They know everything. They know how you wipe your rear end. They know your favorite food. They know what event triggers your dopamine levels. They study us to know everything. And there's nothing they don't know about you. Even to this day, I don't look at myself in the mirror. And you notice I ain't even been looking at myself in the screen. Something's going to miss in the keys only to appear later in a different spot. Always moving stuff around. But they know everything about you. So knowing a memory that you had, say, of your mother abusing you, they know that. So they can trigger that. So when you're talking to somebody that doesn't even remind you of your mother, bing, they can hit on that part of your memory. Boom, your mother abused you. She's probably going to do it too. They can trigger any memory, any thought, any reaction. I mean, this a couple years ago when I went to a doctor, I was like, hey, I need something for the pain. They're like, oh, this right here pill, what it does is it stops the brain. It stops the appendage, like your arm or your leg. It stops that appendage from sending a signal back to the brain saying it hurts. I said, what? Yeah, it's a neuroreducer. I said, what does that mean? Well, it stops the signal. So if you cut your arm off, your arm doesn't say, hey, brain, our arm's been cut off. It's a neuro blocker. Okay, I'll try it. Didn't work. But just think about that. We have a pill that can block messages from the arm to the brain. Strange, huh? Neuroreducer blocker, yep. It didn't work for me. Those things don't work on me. Wow, great. So they manipulate everything. And when I tell other targeted individuals, don't hate me, I'm going to be honest. And it'll be attacked for being honest. And I'll go back to my point about the prison. What is the end goal? You going to take the money? You think you're going to get money? You think there's going to be a judge? I mean, targeted justice has been at this how long? You can go read the brief right now. I read it the other night. I got halfway through it, and I read it all, and the court's like, we don't have jurisdiction, we don't have jurisdiction, we don't have jurisdiction. Kick jurisdiction back down, we don't have jurisdiction, we don't have jurisdiction, we don't have jurisdiction. The only way it got to the higher court is because they appealed it from the lower court. So when it gets to the higher court, and the higher court says, we don't have jurisdiction, where do you think it goes to? It goes back down to the lower court who said, we don't believe you. You didn't prove your case. And I didn't read their case. I haven't read the briefs of the new suit. And my good friend said, I'll put you on the lawsuit. And I appreciate it. And I would love nothing more that this would happen. I would love it. But guess what? I'm a better man today than I was when my targeting went overt. They can turn, and targeted individuals, I know that you're not going to believe me when I say this, but there are days when they turn it off, that they stop the stalking. But we're so programmed, we just assume it's still going. Why? You can't erase those memories. I mean, they can, but it's been imprinted in our psyche what to expect, what to see, what to know. So if you're always waiting for something to happen, that whole time you were waiting, you were already thinking it had. Because it's coming, we know it happened. That's bizarre thinking, but as I said, the end goal, what's the end goal? Money? Put people in jail? For it to stop? Again, Boeing. The whistleblowers got killed. There's more than one whistleblower. You can go Google it. More than one whistleblower. My question still is, the biggest question of all is, who is the defendant? I mean, you could say every weapon manufacturer out there, but how do you tie it to them? Because the thing about, this is what people don't understand. I mean, we can do Freedom of Information Act requests for DARPA and for Raytheon. We can do that. You can do the request, but you're not going to get them. They're top secret. This is black book gone. Congress doesn't even know where the money goes. Congress has no right. Congress has been told, these are black projects. All you can do is see how much money we sent. And they don't even tell the truth about that. Congress can't even get information on it. But it is so boxed off. It is so separate. Everything's so compartmentalized. That's the name I was looking for. Compartmentalized. The right hand don't know what the left hand's doing. And it's like that for a reason. Ooh, they hit me. Wow, they hit me. Ooh, they hit me in the temple all of a sudden. I never get headaches. Ooh, that hurts. That hurts. Wow, that hurts. It's so compartmentalized. I mean, I think that the Woody guy, and listen, more than just Woody made Woody made more more people. Other people made voice to skull technology. Other people made. They've had that technology since the 60s, 50s, and 60s. But when you got a weapon like that, you can't control who it goes to. I mean, he sells anybody that wants it. He said they're backlogged. They're only $60,000. Imagine what I could do to somebody if I had a voice of God weapon. Imagine what I could do. Imagine the money I could get. All you'd have to do is implant a thought in a banker's mind and say, "Hey, you have to steal this money. If not, we're gonna wipe out your whole family and put it in a trash can." That money would come to that trash can instantly. Nobody know a thing. Now, take that same premise and see all these people. Ooh, that really hurts. Wow, that hurts, man. See, this is why that's why I don't do much YouTube anymore. Cause you're in the spotlight. When you start talking about them, I know, see, Goppy's trying to stop it. He knows I'm hurting. He's my emotional support cat, right? Well, I know you want me to stop. He knows I'm getting zapped right now. Ain't that? Yeah. Anyway, I lost my train of thought. All this mass violence, and just think about it. When they went dark, when the FBI went dark, when the Secret Service went dark during the assassination attempt. Remember that? When they went dark? Who's to say the whole time they weren't talking to that kid in his head? I mean, and I told you, there's going to be a lot of these things come up where these people are targeted and they don't know they're targeted, but they have a voice in their head telling them what to do. Right? So, and I don't doubt for a second that they use the voice of God weapons to speak to their people out in the field. Like when they have to go in a place and they're not allowed to wear surveillance equipment, they're not allowed to wear a mic, they're not allowed to wear glasses or cameras or anything when they're not allowed to do that in those situations. And they got somebody talking in their head to them. And I can assure you from the bottom of my heart, I know that what I see with my eyes that they see as well. I don't look at myself when I'm naked. I don't look in the mirror. I barely look at myself on the phone when I'm recording. I just try to, because I know that somebody else is watching. And that's something, no matter if somebody gets convicted, thrown in jail, and all their assets taken, I know that that's never going to change with me. The only way, because we've been trained, I've been trained, but they have trained me to live this way. The only choice I have in my life is if I'm going to react. And I have to choose not to. I have to choose to be cool and calm at all times. I keep myself in a bad situation. I don't get out on the roads at night and drive around. I don't put myself in precarious situations. I don't get in crowds whatsoever. I hate crowds because I know I'm going to be gang swamped. I mean, how many videos I have on there of just going to Home Depot and every aisle is empty except the 30 people on my aisle surrounding me directing speech at me. You know? So they keep us in a routine. But routines can be healthy for your mental health because you can know what you did. And I know it's hard because even with me, it's hard for me because my memory is so wiped out. I don't have any short-term memory at all. I can't remember anything from one day to the other. So it's hard for me to keep up. So that routine, like I said, when I come in the house, I know my routine. And I got a lot to do. I got to get my jackery. I got to get my speaker in my truck. I got to get my phone. I got to get my cord. I got to get my drinks. Put the drinks in the refrigerator and walk in. I got a handful of stuff that I've got to carry every day. And it takes me sometimes 5 to 10 times going in and out and getting all my stuff to come in and out because I'm so weighted down. I mean, I would love. I need my magnesium because and you guys, if you have the ability to get magnesium, get the strongest magnesium you can and take every bit you can get your hands on. You desperately need it to be clear-headed and thinking. My brain is dead without magnesium. I am just drawn up. And you know where I get our largest source of magnesium from? Natural salt. Natural salt, not this fake stuff. And this is what you need to know, people. They demonize salt as it's a bad thing. And that's why God says to salt your food. They demonize cholesterol like it's a bad thing, but you have to have cholesterol to live, to survive, and to thrive. You have to have salt and cholesterol. All the things they tell us are bad are actually good for us. It's just in the extreme amounts that they say is bad for us. So you need to make sure you've got salt, natural salt in your diet, not this fake garbage they sell. But all this stuff is for the body. God knew what we needed to survive. But I just miss thinking, yeah, it is reverse psychology. I mean, they scare us to stay away from the good stuff. Just like now they say, oh, eggs are terrible for you. Don't eat eggs. They'll make your heart jump a beat. Oh, eggs are dangerous. Don't take eggs. I mean, Bill Gates has the nerve to get on his big conferences with these stupid millennials and Gen Xers. Is it Gen X? Am I Gen X? I'm Gen X. These stupid millennials and Gen Zs, and tell them trees are bad. We have to cut down trees. Jesus' name. Jesus' name. Boy, that's bad. That's bad. That hurts. That hurts. If they say it's bad, it's good. The Bible says in the end times, good will be bad, or good will be evil, and evil will be known as bad. And it's just like there's no such thing as gluten. There's no such, gluten is a chemical. They're whacking me. They're freaking whacking me, dude. They're whacking me right in the side of that, right in the temple, and it hurts. And this is, I mean, remember when I used to do live streams? I was being tortured the whole time I was sitting there. I mean, look at my freaking couch, guys. This is radiation. That's radiation. That is radiation. It's right there where my head is. My head did not wear the couch out. 99% of the time, I've got a pillow behind my head. This is radiation. It's burning. My couch is burnt. That's a burn. It's not a chemical burn. It's a burn from radiation. Just another ring in my ear. In the name of Jesus. In the name of Jesus, Lord, please protect me. Heavenly Father. Woo! Just like Tina, she's on the front porch sleep. She's been out there for 3.5 hours sleeping on the front porch. Because they put her to sleep, they can control. But she doesn't know she's being controlled. And the worst thing you can do to another human is tell them what's going on in their mind. You're being mind controlled. You're freaking nuts. I ain't being mind controlled. You just don't want me to do what I want to do. And that conversation kind of happened with the person I was talking to. So, I just don't like you get ringing in both ears. No, they just hit me in that one just now. Tinnitus or tinnitus was not a thing 20 years ago, folks. It wasn't. But now they got a medicine for it. And one thing that Bobby chick said, she said, it's not the government. We've got laws in Canada. They can't use these weapons on us. You mean the government made a law and they're not going to go against what they say? That shows the naivety. Like, government's not going to break the law. Weird feeling, I guess you're trying to say. Oh no, it's normal for me. But she did say that it's doctors. Now listen, you're not going to ever get me to say that the medical industry is good. It's not. Big pharma is one of the greatest evils on earth. Big pharma, big military. But the thing about it is, I know for a fact that psychiatrists are full of garbage. It's bullcrap. Psychologists are full of crap. All this is ADHD. No, the kid's hyper. Let him be hyper. Give him something to do. The medical industry, they do create the illness, and then they sell us a pill that's supposed to not cure us, but to treat us. So I absolutely believe Bobby when she said medical industry is involved. Yes, they are involved, but they don't own the technology that the government and big pharma. They can kill you. They kill people all the time. They kill whistleblowers all the time. Yes. It's like the people, the family that were in charge of the OxyContin. They killed millions of Americans. They still continue to today. They're not going to do anything to them. But just like with psychiatrists, if they use V2K on you, you got voices in your head, we'll sell you a pill. I haven't talked to a person with schizophrenia, because I don't believe in mental illness. I do not believe in mental illness. It's a lie from the devil. I think it's all weapons being used on us. But all they got to do is, if they want to produce that pill and make money off that pill, is what we're going to do is we're going to introduce voices in your head. When you get the voices, you're going to go nuts. We'll get you in the hospital, and we're going to treat you for a couple of weeks, and we're going to pretend we're helping you. And then when you get out, we're going to give you a pill. Now, you got to pay for that pill, or the government does. We're going to give you a pill, and then slowly we're going to take the volume, and we're going to turn it down a little lower. A little lower. But if you're a targeted individual and you know that you're being targeted, you take that pill, it's not going to stop the voices in your head. I am here to tell you, even today as I sit on this couch, they still try to talk to me. They still will turn the volume up and still try to talk. They still make it sound like somebody's underneath the floor talking to me. I know they're not there. Who's that one guy? And I've only seen him on Facebook Shorts. But he's like, yeah, I have hallucinations. He's got a big following. He's like, yeah, I have hallucinations. I got voices in my head, and I see people that aren't there. So I trained my dog to tell me when people weren't there, if they're real or if they're not. You know, and the whole time I'm like, I could spend a day with this dude and cure him. And I Google, I put on there, I text on there, I said, Google targeted individuals. Google voice of God weapons. I don't believe it. I don't believe in mental illness. I'm sorry, I don't. I don't. It's technology. It's also witchcraft and demonology. It all is. I can explain where it all goes. The Bible says where it comes from. It's a spirit of. So what you do with the spirit, you cast it out in Jesus' name. I mean, Jesus spent the majority of his time casting out demons and telling people about hell. And they considered him casting out demons miracles. It's just like the crazy guy that was walking around in the cemetery, lived in the cemetery, butt naked, running around. And nobody would go near him. And Jesus walked up to him, and the demons in him said, "We are legion. Please, Jesus, don't hurt us." Jesus like, "I'm going to cast demons. I'm going to cast you demons out of him." And they said, "Well, don't cast us to the..." They said, "Don't cast us somewhere," but said, "Cast us into the pigs. Cast us into the pigs." And Jesus said, "Come out in my name." And boom, they went into the pigs, and then the pigs ran straight off a cliff and killed themselves. The cliff's there today. The same cemetery is still there. It's all still there, but those are demons. It's just like the people in the Bible that had a spirit of death, a spirit of sickness, a spirit of suicide. It's all in the Bible. They're all spirits. It's all oppressing spirits. It's just like me, and some days are better than others, but the Bible mentions a spirit of heaviness. If you're a targeted individual, you know what this is, a spirit of heaviness. That is the exact, there's no better definition than what that is. Because I've had that for many, many years. A spirit of heaviness, where it felt like I had 10,000 pounds on my shoulders and I could not get up and move. I could not force myself out of the house. I was stuck. And that's why I'm here to tell you today, I'm a new man. I'm a different man than I was 7 years ago when I first came on here. I'm not that same guy. It used to be a struggle, and I couldn't leave. Every light was off in the house. This place was dark as it could be, and I could not hardly walk. I would get up, make me something to eat, and come back in here and lay down. We lived in this house 3 years before we ever had cable. Before we had anything to watch on TV, all we had was DVDs. That was it. 3 years we lived like that. We were broke, and God brought us out from nothing to something. I'm a different person today. I was negative, death. And all I could do is film airplanes. I'd run outside. Tina would be like, "Oh, there you go. Boom, run outside, run out in the field and film an airplane." Or filming cars going up and down the road. And it was. You guys saw it, the same car, over and over, every 2.5 minutes, the same cars. But once I disconnect, say, "No, I'm not going to film." Because guess what? If it doesn't bother you, they have to move on to a different part of the script. Every script is made specifically for you, created by AI. Okay? So if all it takes is them taking your keys and moving them in your house, they'll make you think you've got a ghost. And then there you are chasing a ghost. And guess what happens when nobody finds a ghost? Because there ain't no such thing as a ghost. Different scripts for every person. Tailored to fit you. They know the person that was beat by their mama. They know the person who had an alcoholic dad. They know the person that got bullied in high school. They know the person that's cheating on their spouse. They know every drug you put in your body. They know everything about you. And they will blackmail you. Because when they were openly, after I'd already busted them from inducing thoughts into my head, and they're just straight talking to me, and I'm talking back. It's like 2 or 3 people. Well, what we'll do is we've recorded every second of your life, and we're gonna, unless you do what we tell you to do, we're gonna share those videos with your friends and family. We're gonna show them what a wacko you are, what a drug addict you are. We're gonna show them all the times you've been naked. We're gonna embarrass you. Everybody's gonna see you naked. The whole world, when you're on the toilet taking a dump, we got video of all of it. We'll show it to everybody. And I said, oh God, that's gonna be horrible. What am I ever gonna do? And then I said, wait a second. If you show them videos, then you validate what I've been saying all along. And right then and there, it's like you could hear a tractor trailer shut down. Brakes on, squealing down the road. They didn't have power over me then. If you show this blackmail tapes to all the people I know, then they're going to be like, well, heck, who the heck was filming him? Maybe somebody was watching him. It's like, different scripts. And once you beat that chapter, they move to a different chapter. So I'm not saying that I finished the book. I'm just telling you, I decided to stop reading it. Stop reading the script that's been applied to you. I'm not telling you, shut up, don't tell anybody. I'm just telling you, you don't need the attention. You don't need it. The Bible says pray without ceasing. You know how quickly my brain... I would not have wasted the last 7 years chasing my own tail if I'd have just prayed without ceasing. If I'd have just got my Bible. Even right now, I should be reading my Bible. Pray without ceasing. So the people, if that woman, that angry black woman on the West Coast wants to cuss me, if that woman that reached out to me thinks that I'm not trustworthy and she thinks I'm trying to sabotage her, that's fine. But like I told her, and I've told everybody, I'm never going to lie to you. I'm going to tell you the truth, and I am going to make you mad. Because everybody, when they tell their targeted story, they want, oh yeah, this happened to me, and I believe you, and this, I do believe you. But because I believe what you're saying doesn't mean that's what actually is happening. If you're a targeted individual, they're making money experimenting on you. They're making money testing drugs. They're making money for your life. You are a slave to them. Yes. But don't believe everything you think that's happening. You're on a script. Hollywood is fake. Guess what? They can reproduce Hollywood in your life. If you find it weird when a perfect stranger knows your life and they're directing speech at you, then you should understand that they can manipulate anything around you. They can manipulate anything. They can make you think that they're trying to kill you when that's what they want you to think. Why? Why would they do that? Well, to get you somewhere else. A targeted individual that's on the road is a targeted individual that's at great risk. If you're out on the road, if you're homeless, you are in deep trouble. If you're trying to move from house to house to house, you are in danger. You're at greater risk when you are traveling and you don't know your surroundings. You're at greater risk when you don't have a home base. You're at greater risk when the little bit of health and support that you have is taken away. It is like the Truman Show, just like Eric said. It is exactly like the Truman Show, except in that show, the crowd was cheering for his success. In the real Truman Show, they get paid for your demise. Think if they used that technology for good. Think about how many people could have used positive reinforcement from a higher power. I'm not blaspheming, I'm just saying. Think if you had that push to do better. Think if you had somebody in your head saying, all you got to do is get up and go early. All you got to do is read and study. All you got to do is get this inside track. You wonder how China steals all our goods? Using this technology. Look, they're trying to whack the stream. You wonder how all these places get our secrets? They can read your mind. That's why your DNA has got to be the most protected thing. I gotta go. Tina's coming in. She's gonna go to bed. I gotta go. Have a good night. Thank you.